Oh, here's your Backstage pass.
Right, quiet on the set.
Action!
Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass with Chandra, presented by Chef Lisa Dahl. This is your inside look into culture, curators, and creative artists. And now, your host, Chandra.
Welcome, my VIPs. You've got your Backstage Pass, and you are in. And like I say every week, get ready for some wonderful behind-the-scenes stories that you would never know about or hear about unless you tuned in here on Sedona's Backstage Pass. So before we start with our interviews, and I'm so excited about the people that are with me today, I want to talk about three groups that I absolutely adore, and I think you will too. Sedona International Film Festival. So look, beyond the red carpet premieres and the independent showcases of the Sedona International Film Festival, they are also truly the heartbeat of our local creative community. Why do I say that? Because they have some amazing programming daily and nightly. There's screenings of award-winning independent foreign and documentary films to nostalgic screenings of classic cinema greats, like even their Movies on the Move, which is an outdoor film series, which lets everybody enjoy the movie magic underneath the beautiful starry Sedona skies. But there's so much more about this film organization. They are a vibrant hub for the arts, regularly hosting live music, like my In the Living Room music series, and many, many, many other concerts, comedy events, and professional theater. That's right. They bring the stage to life at the Mary D. Fisher Theater. And you can become a member. That's right. And when you do that, it gives you discounts. Wonderful discounts, savings on passes on their world-renowned 9-day annual festival, which is somewhere in the middle of February. And whether you're catching a thought-provoking documentary or laughing at a comedy show or grabbing a blanket for an outdoor screening, you aren't just an audience member, you're part of the global dialogue that celebrates the power of storytelling and live performance right here in our very own backyard. So that's the Sedona International Film Festival. You can visit sedonafilmfestival.com for all the scheduling and everything you need to know about membership. Then I want to talk about Verve Tents and Events. If you're planning a gathering in Sedona, like say a wedding or maybe a birthday party or some huge event for the holidays or whatever, it requires more than just logistics, right? It requires a touch of magic that matches the stunning natural backdrop of Sedona. Now, Verve Events, and I should say Verve Tents and Events, understands that physical space where your guests gather, and they set the entire tone for the celebration. They provide high quality, wonderful atmospheric setups. They transform any ordinary outdoor location into a real curated experience, allowing you to focus entirely on the connection and the memories that you're creating at your event. And if you want your next event to be a memorable one that's beautiful as the red rocks themselves, Verve is the partner that brings that vision to life. So remember, Verve Tents and Events. And then finally, Sedona.biz. I mean, in a town that's as vibrant as ours, staying connected to the pulse of the community is incredibly essential. And Sedona.biz is the ultimate resource online for keeping that connection strong. They do a phenomenal job of curating the news that actually matters to us, from local arts and entertainment updates to the latest on our city council initiatives and even wonderful articles. It's not just a website, it's the voice of Sedona and the Verde Valley, helping you to stay informed about everything from nonprofit events to local cultural celebrations. So make Sedona.biz your first stop to ensure you're always in the loop on what's going on in Sedona and the Verde Valley. Well, it's that time again. And what I mean by that is I have one of my sponsors with me, and he's absolutely chock full of information. And of course he would be, because he's the executive director of the Sedona Heritage Museum, Nate Meyers. Thank you, Nate, for being here.
Thanks for having me, Chandra.
Now you have to know everything.
No pressure, right?
No pressure at all. Just know everything. Okay, so we are talking today about Cowboy Day, which is coming up in a week and a half, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
from now?
National Day of the Cowboy is coming up on July 21st. 24th.
July 24th.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Ooh. What have we got going on? I mean, I know, but tell everybody.
Yeah, I mean, National Day of the Cowboy is it's a celebration that's been going on for over 20 years now. And it's just exactly what it says. It's a celebration of cowboy heritage and Western heritage. And so every year for the last several years, the Heritage Museum has partnered with our good friends, the Sedona International Film Festival, and we've screened one of the many Westerns shot here in the Sedona area over at Mary D. Fisher Theater.
Wonderful. Is Clancy Sage going to be talking?
Yeah, one of the highlights every year of the event that we do at Mary D. Fisher Theater is that we bring in a couple of local, I guess you'd call them film historians. They're Western film enthusiasts. Love Sedona, love the film history here. So Clancy Sage and John Conway.
And John Conway grew up here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he was there when they had all the facades, because there were a lot of films made here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
sure
so John Bradshaw, of course, his father was really involved here. Very, very well-known photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And so
and extra in several movies.
And an extra in several movies, which is funny, because I've seen him and they're like, there's John.
Yeah.
That's very funny. So the movie that we are playing again is...
So this year's movie is going to be Gun Fury.
Gun
Yeah,
Fury.
1953, starred Rock Hudson, Donna Reed.
Donna Reed.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah.
What was that? She was from...
No, she's in a bunch of stuff.
She's been in a lot of stuff, but she was Donna Reed Show, I think it was called, on TV. When I was a kid, I was always watching those black and white reruns.
Oh, really?
Donna Reed Show.
I remember her from It's a Wonderful Life. Growing up
yeah.
watching that every year.
Oh, yeah.
Had
That's
to.
such a good film.
That was a holiday tradition in my
still
family.
It still is.
I've watched it enough. I haven't watched it in years.
It's like, thank you, no.
Yep, no,
I've
I'm
done
done.
my share. Yeah, there are those
No
films.
offense to Donna Reed.
That's right. So this is going to be cool. So how does that go? People come in, and like John Conway and Clancy Sage, fantastic individuals. They know so much about history of the film industry here. So do they talk first?
Yeah, so what we do every year is we open it up with Clancy and John, and they'll share some anecdotes behind the scenes, making of stories, that kind of thing, from whatever movies being shown. Like you said, this year it's Gun Fury, but in past years it was like Stay Away Joe, and we had an extra special thing. Anyone who attended may remember that Elvis joined us.
Yeah, that was great. I have to say, you were fairly new here in your position.
Yeah, I think that was the first year I was here.
Yeah, it was hysterical. And Al, who kept poking, I just want to go, why don't you just ask me? I knew that he was going to ask me because I've been doing this Elvis Presley impersonation for years. I mean, for years. It dates back to like the 80s when I had my own shows in Vegas and Reno and stuff. And it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And apparently it still is.
Yeah, you still got it.
And now I have a wig.
No, that was good. So, that might be one of the worst movies ever made. And I think we opened up the show by saying, anyone who doesn't have an adult beverage in their hand may want to go out to the lobby and grab one for this film, because it's going to hold on tight.
He was so embarrassed.
Oh, it was such a bad movie.
He hated it. Is this the one where he sang to a donkey?
A bull. Yeah.
A bull?
Yeah. A bull that was not being as amorous as it needed to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are there stories about that? No.
Yeah, plenty. They're all embarrassing for Elvis.
But Elvis has left the building
Elvis
after all,
has
so
left the building,
you might say.
Yeah.
So, okay. So this one, Gun Fury, sounds pretty...
Sounds intense.
A lot of guns.
It sounds like a lot of guns.
I mean, fury.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have to admit, not every one of these movies have I seen before we walk in there, and this is one of them. I have not yet watched it. I'm going to watch it before the actual screening, so I know what we're in for.
So you're prepared?
But, I just know from reading reviews and learning about it, it was kind of, the reviews at the time in 1953 were anywhere from panning it to kind of saying, yeah, it's entertaining, whatever. But it's the plot doesn't deviate too much from what you'd think of as a standard shoot 'em up Western kind of plot. So it's not a complex plot. You're kind of there to see your favorite movie stars, be
Rock
heroes
Hudson.
on the screen. Yeah.
I would be waiting for Doris Day to make a cameo or something. They were always together. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. It was really hard to watch now. There are movies that are difficult to watch because, like, for instance, the movie you were just talking about with Elvis in it, what was that called again?
Stay Away, Joe.
Stay Away. Just please stay away from that movie. Yeah. That was fairly misogynistic, wasn't it?
Misogynistic, sexist, racist, all the ists. Yeah.
And then you have Native American people that are being portrayed by...
in that movie, Elvis played a blue-eyed Navajo man. I mean, that was...
gosh,
So, so the casting was certainly not respectful of our indigenous neighbors and friends. I can't speak for Gun Fury. I believe Gun Fury centers around like Anglo gangsters and bank robbers and outlaws and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I take that back. There is a Native American sidekick. So it's I expect. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. Well, you'll soon know.
We'll all soon know. And anyone who's watched it will know.
Yeah, and then you're reviewing it, so you will really be in for it, you know? Okay, this is interesting to me. So they do talk before the movie.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they'll share stories. And I don't want to give away too much of what they'll talk about because we want people to come.
But just the format. I'm just curious. Yeah. And then you watch the movie, and then is there a Q&A?
There has been in the past. We do not have a Q&A set up this time.
So
any Q&A can be before, asking Clancy and John what they might know or, consulting the big tome of Sedona movies, McNeil's book, Arizona's Little Hollywood.
Yes, that's a big book.
It is.
The thing is, though, I want to ask, so after the movie, is it just that's done? It's over? There's no more talking about the film? Okay, curious. I've never been to one, except for when I was portraying Elvis.
And Elvis had to leave the building.
And Elvis did have to leave the building. That's the way it goes, always. So let me ask you, is this kind of a norm at this same time around this year, like in July, for other museums for the Day of the Cowboy?
Well, National Day of the Cowboy is national.
It is national.
It's I believe that's the fourth Saturday every July.
Okay. I did not know that.
Before I came to Sedona, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah. Tom and I were part of that for years, Uptown. They're not doing anything Uptown now.
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah, there was a time when, did you ever know Martha Edwards?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so Martha and Dev Ross and Tom and I, Brad Roberts, a lot of gunslingers. We did a whole thing Uptown several times. And then it was kind of taken over by another group that did a whole bunch of stuff Uptown. And then Tom and I got hired often in front, playing music and being characters. Cowboy characters. It was fun. So it was a big deal here for a long time. Yeah, did you know about the Budweiser, the wagon and the...
No, tell me.
Or I think it was that, or was it Wells Fargo? I'm getting confused.
Probably Wells Fargo.
Maybe. Yeah, I think, because I was kind of helping at one point, and we were trying to get a wagon, the big, I have to look it up. There you go. I should never even mention it when I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm
sure it was Wells Fargo. That's the Western thing.
That is a Western thing.
For a long time... There was a guy who was like the main driver for the Wells Fargo ads when they had the coach.
Yeah.
He lived in Mesa.
Oh.
And he had a Wells Fargo wagon.
Well, maybe it was that.
But so I'm sure that was that. And maybe you were trying to get that guy, but I don't know.
I don't know. I just remember we had something. So there you go.
Get back to the movie for just a moment. I do want to talk about something kind of fun with the movie that John and Clancy will get into, but a little deeper. But the movie was actually shot in 3D.
Oh.
And it was meant to be viewed in 3D.
Oh, that's crazy.
In 1953.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So early 50s, this 3D fad kind of becomes a thing. And the reason for that is the box office revenue had been declining.
Oh.
Because everybody was getting televisions in their homes.
Ah.
And you don't have to pay anything, right?
That's
you
right.
can sit home and watch TV for free. What's on the tube? I don't know, but I don't have to leave the house, right? So
there you go.
So box office revenue is dropping, and so the movie studios are looking for, how can we get people back to the theaters? And so they land on 3D as one of these things. And so Gun Fury, there was about an 18-month period where they made just a bunch of movies in 3D across like 52 and 53.
That's very
and
cool.
That's one of them. So if you see like pictures of the filming of Gun Fury here in Sedona, you'll see the cameras are these enormous boxes, and it's because the cameras themselves were already big enough in the 50s, and the way they made it 3D was they had two cameras focused on the same thing.
Oh.
And so they had these, so that they could, move them together. They were in the same box, and so they're these giant boxes.
That's hysterical.
The whole movie isn't in 3D. Like we think of like Avatar or like, way back when they delayed the release of the final Harry Potter movies because they had to go back and redo them in 3D, right? So and digitally, but that was like a fad of the 2010s. But
yes.
This is long before that. But so the whole movie is not in 3D. It's just a few of these moments where like there's action. So like one of the photos we have in our collection is Donna Reed riding her horse right at the camera. The dual camera setup, so like she's riding right at you, right? And
have you ever seen anything like that from the 50s? Tom used to talk about this often.
I was unaware of this until I started looking into. Yeah,
he said that he saw a 3D film where a stagecoach went right up the aisle. That's how it felt to him.
Yeah,
and looked, because that was a big deal in the 50s.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of the action in this. So there's a lot of like the fight scenes or whatever are 3D, so it's like somebody's fist is coming right off the screen or whatever, which seems terrifying to me. I don't know why you would want that.
Have you ever seen a 3D film? Like I have not seen one of the new 3D films.
I think I only saw Avatar. I didn't.
Was it that intense?
I didn't think it was great. No. For all the listeners,
yes.
I might be wrong, and I understand we're going to have different opinions. I wasn't blown away by it.
This was, which one was it? The last one?
The first Avatar.
Oh,
that was the big deal about Avatar, was that it was in 3D.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I must have been on vacation.
This was 15 years ago.
I saw the movie, but it wasn't in 3D.
You didn't have to watch it. You didn't have to watch it in 3D.
Right, but I don't think Harkins here has the ability to do that. Am I right? I've never seen a 3D movie at Harkins. I know up in Flagstaff they have it, Prescott I think too. Interesting stuff. So Gun Fury had that.
Gun Fury had that, and I guess some of the landscape shots too, establishing the landscapes with our red rocks. So some of our red rocks, I guess, kind of jumped off the screen a little bit.
I love that. That's funny. That's really cool. So that was 1953. Now, there were a lot of people living here that were plugged into the film industry. Mm-hmm. They were hired. It was a big hiring all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Films coming in, making them here. Was it just less expensive, or was just the terrain they were after?
I think the big thing is the terrain. You think of our terrain, and we've got several microclimates that can stand in for different things. We've got grasslands off to the west. We've got the majestic Red Rock Buttes. We've got forests at the top of the rim. So Sedona could kind of stand in for a lot of places.
For different places. So were there ever movies that were made here where there were no red rocks in the film? Like what you're saying, where they were somewhere else, but it was a perfect place because it had a Western feel to it.
That they would film here? I think the main point of filming here was to get that Western feel. So I'm not aware. I don't know. I'm not going to say none, but...
Do you know if they ever filmed like in Flagstaff?
Oh, for sure.
They did. Yeah. And when you're coming out of Sedona and you're going towards Prescott, and there's that flat mesa that you look at, it almost looks like a carousel, you know? I wonder if they've ever used that.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because it's wild to think that there, and of course, very interesting to note that there were stage wagons and things like that all over this place.
For the movies.
For the movies.
Yeah.
But this is how people got around. No, they did not?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
We're too rocky. You think of anyone who's been to the Sedona Heritage Museum and you see like that buggy in the apple shed. Like just think about that for a minute. That would never survive on the rocks.
True.
And so,
But what about
some
the flat
wagons
parts?
and that kind of stuff. But it's all rocks, though.
Okay.
It's all rocks. Like, there are no roads.
Right.
So
I wonder what the terrain was like. Was it very similar to what it is, right?
Anyone could look out their backyard and see
and that's what it is.
And that's what it is. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild stuff.
Yeah. So like the Surreys and that kind of stuff never would have been out here. You'd need heavy duty wagons that are going to survive the.
Well, what kind of wagon was driven by Sedona's husband when he used to go up Schnebly? And
you would have had to have a very heavy wagon with very, very strong wheels and strong axles. Yeah.
Yeah, incredible. Because that terrain is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If anybody
that's a good terrain.
Yeah, right. I know. And if those of you who are thinking about coming to Sedona after you go to the Heritage Museum, Sedona Heritage Museum, because it would be nice for you, obviously, you would want to know the history. If you take a Jeep tour, like a pink Jeep tour or one of the other ones, and you're going up Schnebly, it is quite the ride because it's pretty rocky. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a bumpy ride.
Yeah, hold on tight.
Yeah, hold on tight. It is. So, okay. So now, the film. How long is this movie? What were they like when they were making these movies? Do you know? I mean, was it 2 hours or?
No, it'll be less than 2 hours. I don't know the runtime off the top of my head, but typical westerns, keep your attention, keep it moving.
That's right.
90 minutes, 100 minutes, somewhere.
There you go. Yeah, right.
I mean, if you want it exactly, we could look it up.
Right, exactly. Do you know right offhand what was the most popular cowboy movie made here? No,
I don't know.
You have no idea. Yeah, I mean,
so many big ones were made here. I mean, maybe it's Surrounders, but I mean, like anybody in westerns came to Sedona to make them, and some of them were real bad. I mean, like John Wayne came and made a couple here, but Angel and the Bad Man, which kind of is the one that changes everything for Sedona, because they construct that Western Town movie set, and all of a sudden it's the place to come and shoot westerns.
Oh, that's interesting. When was that?
47.
47.
Yeah.
So
but that's sorry, John Wayne fans, cover your ears. It's a bad movie.
It's not good, huh?
No.
Wow.
That's a B Western.
Okay.
And there are plenty of those. But and there are movie stars in them, but like Jimmy Stewart comes and makes movies, Fonda comes and makes Surrounders, and Glenn Ford. So Elvis, and that's a terrible movie, but like,
right.
So, yeah, I don't know. That would be a good question to find out what the highest grossing one
would be
was.
interesting.
310 to Yuma was filmed here, the original one. So like, there are a lot of classics that are filmed here, and there are a lot of ones that are filmed.
Have there ever been any more new ones that have been filmed here?
I mean, I think the focus so often gets put on the westerns getting made here, but like if you look at it, depending on how you define western, there's 100 to 125 westerns that are filmed here starting in 1923.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea.
If you look at Sedona as a filming location on IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, there's well over 300 movies that have been filmed here.
That's very interesting.
And they continue to make movies here, right? So like Him, a couple years ago, filmed out at Seven Canyons.
What about the one with William Shatner?
Shatner, which is not a Western. That's a terrible horror flick.
Yes,
right?
It's a Rotten Tomatoes one.
Yeah. That's Kingdom of the Spiders.
Kingdom of the Spiders.
Yeah.
I think it was in Cornville, wasn't it? Or
it was all over. It was mostly, for Sedona, it was mostly the airport, and then it was Cottonwood and Cornville, and yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And like even... there's I don't know how much to say about this, but I know there was a rom-com recently filmed in town that'll be coming out hopefully soon.
Oh, I didn't know that. I do know that. And of course, High School
and
Detention, the musical was made here.
I was trying to set you up to.
Thank you very much. A little promotional, never hurts, right? Thank you, Nate. And so,
and there was this one, and this one, and the one you made, Chandra.
The one I made. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Well, I will tell you this. I'll give you a little sneak peek on something. I just did a video. I was hired to produce a video of Tiffany Lord, who was at the Heritage Museum not too long ago with her artwork. And she did a whole thing on liberty and justice, Lady Liberty, Lady Justice, and then did it as an art piece. So I did the narration, I found the music, we licensed it, and then she sat with me, and I was the editor on this.
Nice.
It was really fun. And now we are entering it into the Sedona International Film Festival as a short documentary.
Awesome.
So that's cool. So yes, there are movies made here. Now, as far as you said, 1947 was the one with where they first started? No,
Not when they first started. The first one
1920s.
was 1923.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that was a silent film. It was an adaptation of Zane Grey's The Call of the Canyon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he liked to write his novels in the places they took place, so he wrote it in Oak Creek Canyon, and then when it came time to make it into a movie, he insisted it be made on location. And I don't know that it was the first movie ever shot on location. I don't want to say that, but it was among the first films ever shot on location outside of a soundstage, outside of a studio.
Wow. Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And so when did the film industry kind of fade away here in Sedona?
I would argue
with
it hasn't.
With the Westerns.
The Westerns.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's when the Westerns kind of fade out of popularity. I mean, late 60s, early 70s, and they had their moment in the 40s, 50s, into the 60s, and kind of faded out after that. And it's not that great Westerns aren't still made. There was a great remake of 3:10 to Yuma. Lonesome Dove was made in the 80s. That's a classic. I
Lonesome
always
Dove.
joke
Wow.
that
Okay.
that wasn't made here, but
Oh, good.
no,
Okay,
no,
well, that was.
no.
I was
just
thinking,
mean like
wow, that was
Westerns
made
in
here.
general. Like
Yeah.
it's not that they aren't still made, but it's
It's kind of a fading genre. It hasn't been around very much lately, anyway.
No,
there have been some TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, some series and things like that.
Yeah.
Lots of that, but not so much movies, right?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of has shifted to television a little bit.
It
hasn't
has. Yeah, you see a lot of series and things like that on TV.
Yeah.
The streaming
Yellowstone
channels.
and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that, but not movies, interestingly enough. So we have the
Maybe it's
Telegraph.
time.
Yeah, maybe. And it does shift. Sometimes all of a sudden.
Tastes shift.
Do you remember when Clint Eastwood came out with, there were just movies, like lots of Westerns all of a sudden. I don't know if you remember that or not, because you were probably a twinkle. Sorry.
I didn't say anything.
I remember those days. Yeah,
Back
exactly.
in my
Back
day.
in my day. That's right. So now the Telegraph office, which was in Angel and the Badman, and we have it. And it was driven to literally the whole Telegraph office, the whole banana was driven over, hauled over to the Sedona Heritage Museum.
Been hauled a couple of times. Yeah.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, that building started life as the railroad depot in Winona, Arizona, and then Republic Studios bought it and moved it to Sedona to be part of the Western Town movie set for the filming of Angel and the Badman. And then it was part of that Western Town movie set for years and appeared in different films.
Incredible.
And then when they shut that studio down, it was moved to a lot on the Upper Red Rock Loop Road, and it was converted into an apartment.
Oh my gosh.
And it was an apartment for a long time until the Historical Society acquired it. And as you were talking about, put it on the back of a flatbed truck, towed it up the Loop Road, down 89A, up Jordan Road to the Heritage Museum where it sits today.
Our dear friend Al Camello.
He did a
Sedona
great job
Al,
photo documenting
Yes,
that.
he was into it. He was out there. It was early. I don't know if it was early morning. It was late at
Yeah,
night.
they had to do it overnight because it was going to impact traffic in a
That is
pretty
quite
major
a
way.
sight.
Yeah.
Quite a sight. Well, I can't believe it. We've run out of time.
What?
I know. It's like it goes by so fast. Thank you so much for coming, telling us about Day of the Cowboy. Again, the date is
July 24th. Tickets are available right now on the Sedona International Film Festival's website.
right. And what time is it?
3:00.
All right, cool. So make sure you do that. Thank you, Nate, for being here. I look forward to you coming back in August. Everybody stay with me. I'll be right back. You can taste it in every bite. For over 30 years, Chef Lisa Dahl has redefined what it means to dine in Sedona, serving soulful and handcrafted cuisine inspired by love, artistry, and community. From the original little kitchen at Dahl and DeLuca to the majestic spirit of Mariposa to the couture flair of Butterfly Burger, every experience is elevated, every ingredient intentional. In every dish, you experience Lisa's lifelong mantra, when you cook, you feed the soul. To learn more about Lisa Dahl and the Dahl restaurants, please visit cheflisadahl.com.
When your project demands precision, experience, and trust, turn to Sefton Engineering Consultants. From expert civil engineers to construction management, we deliver real-world solutions that stand the test of time. With over 30 years in the business, Luke Sefton's team is committed to getting your project done right, on time, and on budget. Sefton Engineering Consultants. Reliable, experienced, personal. Learn more at seftonengineeringconsultants.com.
Here's more of Backstage Pass with Chandra, brought to you by Chef Lisa Dahl.
I'm thrilled to have my second guest be this individual who is an absolute joy. He walks around, he's happy, he spreads joy everywhere he goes, he's resourceful. He is like, I would say, the equation of resourceful and reinvention and all these great things. And Larry Rosenberg, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here, Chandra.
It's wonderful. We've known each other for years, haven't we?
12 years.
12?
Yeah,
it feels like I've known you longer.
We worked together 12 years ago on the Larry Show.
Right. But how long have you been living in Sedona, all in all? Like, when did you come here the first
I came
time?
here in '05.
Okay.
Was here for 16 years. Then I got a bug to do something else, ended up in Tucson. It was the COVID year, the wrong year and the wrong place to be. And then 3 years in South Florida, Jupiter, then Pompano Beach, where a close friend of mine was fading from Lou Gehrig's disease. And that was my mission, to be her companion. And then when she passed, I looked around and I said, I miss Sedona. And I've been here 1 year.
Yes, and you have that red dirt in your veins, don't you?
I think so.
You do, because it was calling you back. Larry, come back.
Yes.
Come back, Larry Rosenberg.
The ocean, the palm trees are seductive, but after a while, they become the same. Whereas Sedona's always changing. Sunrise, sunset, the angles of the rocks, the seasons. It's so much more dynamic. It's so much more alive. There's so much more story out here.
It's interesting.
Than Florida.
Yeah, you're an artist of all
Yes,
kinds.
yes,
You're
I
a
am.
multi-artist. And I know that we, together with Deb Ross, my creative partner, we worked with you developing The Larry Show.
Thank
which
you.
You performed many times.
50 times.
50.
In one version or another.
Right. And also you traveled outside of the country.
Australia.
Yes.
A suburb of Sydney. And a suburb of Edinburgh, Scotland.
I mean, how outrageously cool is that?
I was lucky.
No, it was wonderful. You
Yes,
manifested it.
yes,
I
yes.
remember you telling us, I want to get this out. I want to do it. I want to do a tour. Yes, you did. I love that. You know what I love about you, Larry, is that you're resourceful and you reinvent, and just these great R words, right? Resourcefulness, resilience, reinvention, the 3 R's I like to talk about. And
Me too.
tell us what you're up to now.
One word, poetry. 4 years ago, I walked into a library in Boca Raton, Florida, and I heard about a group that does open mics and a group that helps people write poems and share them and get feedback. And I joined the group, and it took over my life. And fast forward to today, almost 4 years, 670 poems written.
670 poems?
And I'm still warming up.
Of course you are.
I'm still learning the trade. I have a problem, I sit down. It's self-therapy. I'm trying to figure out this crazy world of ours. I write about it, whether it's political, whether it's romantic, whether it's ecology. I listen to people's stories, and I say, that story needs to be written. And so I do a fake version, a fictional version of a story that was just told to me, a true story.
That's awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
This is
me too.
part of your legacy, is it not?
I think it's part of my legacy. I've been on this planet 83 years, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up.
I love it.
And what's going on.
Yeah.
And what's changing and what's meaningful. And I know the secret of happiness. It's 20% pleasure, and I'm pretty good at that. And it's 80% service. It's 80% being there, helping people, being part of something larger, and Sedona's good at that too.
It is. You know, there are a lot of people that serve here. It seems to be the same couple of hundred individuals that serve all the time, but people here are very generous. So even if you don't see them always volunteering, people are always willing to help. Yeah. You know, when asked, especially. And well, I believe the same thing. I think 80% of life is showing up. For sure.
Indeed.
And making a positive difference is extremely important to me personally, and I know you feel the same way.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
You haven't always been cheery and happy. I mean, the interesting part about you, Larry, is that you've been able to take what's happened in your life and create from it, like The Larry Show. In The Larry Show, a lot of you have probably not seen The Larry Show. You start to talk about your life in depth. It's intimate. And you also touch on the fact that at one point you were standing outside your hotel room up high. Have got this right?
Yeah,
was it a hotel
14th
room?
floor. Balcony.
And thought about jumping.
Yes, several times. You know, we have highs and lows.
Yes.
And I've learned to manage the lows. They're not as low as they used to be.
Yep.
And the highs are more consistent and lengthy and maybe even a little higher. And that's been my life's calculus.
Yes. Now, with that experience, have you been able to help somebody who's literally on the ledge?
Yes. I mentioned my friend Susan, 43-year friendship. We dated. We had a wild affair in New York City. And then she went on to marry and bury 2 husbands. But we stayed friends. And then when she said she had ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and she was in South Florida, I said, can I visit? Can I stay for a few months? Can I be your companion? Be your cheerleader?
Good for you. How wonderful for her.
I was there when she passed.
Wow. Wonderful for both
hospice.
of you.
Yes.
Because it does change you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I understand this firsthand. It changes you when you take care of somebody and when you're there when they pass.
And as she was going down steeply for the last 2 years, I wrote poem after poem about her and our relationship and what insights were coming up. You know, let go, let God.
Did you get a chance to actually recite those to her?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. She would always ask me to recite them 3 times.
How
she
interesting.
wanted to hear them.
She wanted to take it in.
She wanted to be relevant.
Yes.
Most people were stopping visiting her because her speech was declining.
Do you think that the reason why people don't visit an individual, I've thought about this a lot because I've had some experience with this. You know, Tom's first wife, and Tom would not matter. It wouldn't matter to him for me to mention this because it's important. In the beginning of our relationship, we took care of his former wife.
That's miraculous.
And she was a very close friend of mine. She had helped me in New York, and she was already off in a different relationship. And then Tom and I were together, and we took care of her for 2 years, and we were there when she passed.
Beautiful.
And then her mother came down with Alzheimer's, and we took care of her for 5 years. That was the first 7 years of our relationship.
Wow.
And it was hard. Now, a lot of our friends kind of backed off. Tell us about that, because it seems to be when people age or anybody who has an ailment, people are uncomfortable. Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is. It's too much reality. It's too much that could happen to me. And maybe they're actually feeling some aches and pains, or they've been diagnosed with an early onset.
Something.
And here they see this full-blown person near the end, and in a wheelchair, and she couldn't scratch her nose.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's
this is difficult.
painful.
And and the thing about it is, yes, I think it is the reality of the situation that, I mean, literally, we are all getting older. And you don't have to be old to make your transition. I've had several friends and also friends who've had children who have made their passage unexpectedly. It's difficult to face that.
When one becomes as old as I am, we look at life different. I don't have 50 years left. At 83, if I have another 10, 20, I'm going to be happy. So what do I want those years to be? I want them to be vital, adventures, healthy, new people. I can't be young, but I can be youthful, full of youthful energy.
This is wonderful. I'm going to tell you, I really appreciate what you're saying here. And I want people to know that you are what you refer to as an adventurous aging coach. I love this because there's nobody I know doing that who's specific with it. Because when people get older, they can get depressed. They can, and especially if they're not feeling well, it's hard. It's just difficult. People will say things like aging is not for sissies.
Right.
I'm sure that's true. And nobody knows until they're there. That's the thing.
And there's no manual. There are books galore, but we have to write our own manual. Right. And so therefore we have to look at ourselves. Look at our mindset. Look at our diet. Look at our. I had cancer, stage 2, colon cancer, 5 years ago. Boy, was that a wake-up call. I practice adventurous aging on myself.
So I have to ask you about this because I know you've always had a good diet.
Yes.
And you're very mindful of the way that you think. You don't hold on to grudges.
Right.
You're not a negative person.
Yes.
And here you are, you get that. Now, what in the world?
We'll never know. We'll never know. Was it chemicals in bananas, or I walked on a golf course when they had just sprayed? We don't know what's there. Obviously, there was some low point, some negativity in my body, mind, spirit system. And so the 6 months of the cancer was not just what I call the trifecta, radiation, chemotherapy, and surgery. It was completely redoing, refreshing, renewing my life agenda, my life pattern, including the highlight was when I actually, the Susan that I mentioned with ALS, before she faded, was a psychic. And she brought the energy of my parents into my room. She was in Florida, I was in Sedona, and I saw energetic manifestations of my parents in my 2 directors' chairs, and we had the conversation that I needed to have to heal the resentments that I had been carrying for 60 years. And that can give one cancer.
Well, bravo to you and to her that she gave you that.
It was a gift.
And
yes.
you were able to reciprocate in the ways that you did with her towards the end of her life. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know, I always think that artists are very fortunate because we can take what we go through and we can put it into our work, as you mentioned.
Yes.
I know you have a couple of pieces with you right now. Would you like to do that?
I would. I'm back in Sedona because I love Sedona, and so I wrote a song I now call Sedona Home, and I wrote it according to the tune of an Australian composer, Peter Allen, and it's called I Still Call Australia Home. I love the tune, and here it is.
Okay.
I've lived in cities on the path of the sun, New York, Tokyo, Miami, Washington. About my new haven, I could write a tome. I now call Sedona my home. Oh, always been a nomad, wandering free. Search for friendly towns from A to Z. Then I found a place out of a mystic poem. Sedona's now my forever home. its natural beauty, where vortices spiral, its red rocks have faces, their spirits go viral. In this land of cactus, love and peace flow. From sunrise to sunset, my life seems to glow. In its high desert of pine and willow green, mountains smile on me, energies felt though unseen. The star-filled night sky forms a cathedral dome. Sedona's now my enchanted home. From this flowered paradise, why should I roam? I now call Sedona. I now know Sedona. I now love Sedona, my home.
I love it. That's so cool. I love it. It's not easy to do
Thank
things, anything a cappella.
Thank you.
Now you have another piece and you're going to recite that for us. So
Actually, this is a song too.
It's a song.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's a song.
Well, there you go.
And it just came out of nowhere. It's pure fantasy. And most people know John Denver, and he wrote Annie's song. And I love the tune, so I took the tune and borrowed it. I loved your pure energy from the moment I met you. Your Honda dented my VW, but I couldn't get upset. I looked into your eyes, saw an open-hearted man. I felt your magic then and still do today. You said how sorry you were for the damage. I couldn't help smiling. My love bounced off the clouds. We went to a Starbucks, got to know each other. I felt your magic then and still do today. It's been 30 years since we met in Safeway's lot. Feelings came from the depths of our spiritual friendship. Love blossomed as we shared our hearts and bodies. I felt your magic then and still do today. I can't forgive cancer for stealing you from me. I treasure your memory every hour, every day. The house now so quiet, I miss your off-key singing. I still sense your magic and shall till I die.
All right. Wow. Expressive.
Sorry about the tune.
No, it's okay. It's all right. I'm sitting here crying, you know. Well, this is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's taking what you have.
Dealing with life, where we are, where it is.
Yeah.
Being in the present, creating as much positivity, optimism, energy, passion, finding a mission. Poetry for me. I'd love to be a catalyst for more poetry to be written and shared and celebrated here in Sedona.
Now, you know, when people think of Larry Rosenberg, we're all used to coming into an area, like coming into an event or whatever, and then you are either leading a sing-along. I saw you do that over at Sedona Performing Arts Center. We were all waiting for a big event, or singing to people.
Right.
Coming in and singing, changing the lyrics and having some fun with it. And so for people to understand that it hasn't been all rosy, has it? Speaking
it has
of
not.
Rosie,
It has
you
not.
were called Rosie.
I was called Rosenberg. They called me, as a child, they called me Rosie, which had a feminine name to it. And I was not a very masculine boy. And
But I don't think that's why
that.
Did they call you that because of that? No.
I don't know. I don't know. My father, when he was in the Navy,
They called him Rosie.
they called him Rosie.
Yeah. So I don't think it was because of that.
Probably you're right.
But it's interesting.
But I'm also sensitive, which is part of where I'm coming from when I do things to be positive and to be a cheerleader. The minister of joy, someone called me once.
Love that. So now here's the thing. I'm getting this vibe that even though you're upbeat, that you like this poem that you just sang, the second one. It's important to also just notice when you are sad or when you are reminiscing or when you're depressed or when you're feeling things. Doesn't mean we stay there, but sometimes it comes back and it comes back again. Sometimes it's months before we can just feel okay for our whole day. And that's all right, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Of course it is.
And I think it's really important that when we're sharing that with people who are close to us or anybody, it's nice to be acknowledged like, yeah, that is hard. That's tough. Instead of, come on, snap out of it. Oh, you got to.
Big difference.
I mean, I've done that. I've done that with people, and I've had people do that with me who are close to me. And now that I have, we've all experienced a lot, and I've experienced my share. And when I go out, the last thing I want to do is walk around with a frown on my face. I'm going to shift gears and be upbeat. But nobody really knows, and people don't know about your life. Right. So thank you for sharing all of that. Tell me something about where people can find what you're doing. I think if I've got it right, Larry Rosenberg, poetry.substack.com. Is that correct?
You said it more eloquently than I could.
Okay.
What do you do with 600 plus poems? So I want to get them out there. I want feedback. I hope that some of the deeper feeling poems touch people. Give them hope. Give them a sense of direction and healing, and whether they're getting over grief or a disease. It's practically the same thing. And so I'm getting the poems out there. Most of them are going to be free. It would be nice to get a little income back, so some of them will be by paid subscription.
Oh, I want to mention this.
Get it
I'm
out.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No.
But you are kind of looking for a new dwelling, are you not?
I may be looking for a new dwelling. I've been in Sedona a year since Tucson in Florida, and I've moved 5 times.
5 times.
And it's no fun, but it seems to be my karma. And the place I am might be up for sale.
Oh.
The landlady said it would be. So I may be looking. And I worked out a concept called a house companion, personal companion. It's not a caregiver. It's not a tenant. It's somewhere in between, where they have a casita or a small apartment or just a private bedroom and bathroom. And I'm there. Nobody who's a senior, an elder, should be living alone. It is not healthy. It prolongs life to be with someone. And that's for me, and that's for a companion who has a large house and needs some help.
Right. And you're energetic,
Yes.
You're doing
yes.
stuff.
And positive. Yeah.
Right. So if any of you are thinking about maybe, you like a little help, is it a sort of a trade or whatever that might be, you can contact Larry, and you can find him again at LarryRosenbergPoetry.substack.com. I'm sure there's information. You have a LinkedIn page. You're on Facebook. Send him a message and just say, hey, you know what? We are kind of thinking this way. We've got an extra room. We have a casita. We have, anything like that. And I'm sure you can work something out with Larry. And you're a joy, Larry.
I'm open to it. Yes. I'm a joy to keep myself up, and I know that it has an impact on other people. Now, some people are in moods sometimes, and I back off. I'm sensitive.
You don't want to
enough.
bright side people.
Exactly.
That's the worst thing in the world. Like, oh, be cheery, be happy.
Yes.
Come on.
That's
not good.
That's unkind.
It is
to do that and dysfunctional. But if there's an opportunity for singing, for dancing, I love to cook.
Yes, you're an excellent cook. You make the best chocolate, too, by the way.
Thank you. And my Japanese cooking, I lived in Japan 10 years, and you can take Larry out of Japan, but you can't take the Japan out of Larry.
Just like Sedona.
Yes.
And can you believe it? We have run out of time. I can't believe it. It goes by so fast.
I feel the same.
So,
what a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Larry. Thank you so much. Thanks for being back in Sedona. It's wonderful to have you back here, and thank you for being my guest today.
It's been a wonderful experience. You're a great interviewer and a charming person.
Thank you, Larry. I love you too. Well, everybody, stay with me. I will be right back.
You've explored the trails, stood in awe of the red rocks. Now discover how Sedona became Sedona. The Sedona Heritage Museum tells the story of Red Rock country, from ancient cultures to today's vibrant community. It's interactive, family-friendly, and open year-round, indoors and out. Sedona Heritage Museum, preserving and sharing the soul of Red Rock country. Plan your visit at sedonamuseum.org or call 928-282-7038.
Take a deep breath and let it go. At Sedona's New Day Spa, your escape begins the moment you arrive. Enjoy luxurious massages, rejuvenating facials, and native-inspired body treatments. Every moment is designed to restore balance and renew your spirit. Voted Sedona's Best Day Spa, this is more than self-care. It's your sanctuary. Book your experience today at SedonaNewDaySpa.com or call 928-282-7502.
Need a clean car fast? Come to Cleaner Quicker Car Wash. We'll have you sparkling and back on the road in minutes. Whether you're after a quick shine or a deep clean, you'll get top quality service, eco-friendly soaps, and smiles all around. Drive up, shine up, and feel good, all without slowing down your day. And look like a star in your car. Located in West Sedona on Highway 89A. For more information, visit cleanerquickercarwash.com.
Here's more of Backstage Pass with Chandra, brought to you by Chef Lisa Dahl.
I absolutely had a blast today. Nate Meyers, Larry Rosenberg. Hey, you hear that? You know what that means. If you've been listening to this show, you know it is time for my shameless Chandra spot. I want to talk about the In the Living Room music series that I put on every other Monday at the Mary D. Fisher Theater. Now, I got to tell you that this is really close to my heart because this concert series is something where you can actually get to know the artists behind their music because you ask questions during the concert. So it's really fun, and I hope you always show up. Now, this coming Monday, which is July 13th at 7 p.m. at Mary Fisher, is an incredible opportunity for you to show up and for us to show up for each other. And I just want to tell you, it's going to be a fundraiser, and it's for the firefighters that have been fighting all of the fires here and across the United States. The donations are going to go to the Eric Marsh Foundation, an organization that serves as a lifeline for wildland firefighters and their families. So what they do is they provide crucial support by offering emergency financial assistance, dedicated mental health and PTSD counseling, and long-term recovery aid to those who are navigating the aftermath of a loss or injury in the line of duty. And when you choose to spend your evening with us Monday, July 13th at 7 p.m. at the Mary D. Fisher Theater, you aren't just buying a ticket. You're making a tangible $10 donation to help sustain these essential services. Now, my friend Steve Estes, who is a fantastic guitarist and singer, he's a lovely person, is leading the charge by donating his entire share of the ticket sales, 50% of the ticket sales. And I'm asking you to book online at SedonaFilmFestival.com. Come on, join us for this wonderful concert. You'll have a great time, and your presence will make a difference. And bring your friends. That's right. I'll see you on Monday, July 13th, 7 p.m. at Mary D. Fisher Theater. As always, I want to thank you for tuning in. And remember, every Saturday, you will be able to hear a new show. And everything is archived on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora Radio, and also YouTube. Now, I want to thank my sponsors because without them, I would not be able to do this show. I would like to thank Sedona Heritage Museum. Make sure you go check it out. They're right off of Jordan Road. Sefton Engineering. And if you want a civil engineer for a home you're building or maybe a commercial building, he's the one you want to contact. That's Luke Sefton at Sefton Engineering. Cleaner, quicker car wash. Oh, yes, Debbie Johnson running that car wash. And I'm telling you, they do a great job over there. Sedona New Day Spa. That's Jill and Pete Gallia. Fabulous spa. And also Sedona.biz, wonderful place to find out what's going on here and the Verde Valley. And my presenting sponsor, the Dahl Restaurant Group and Chef Lisa Dahl. Okay, again, next time, get your VIP pass out, and I'll see you next week. In the meantime, enjoy and take care.